and welcome to my channel. I am Carla, I am the Stitchy Witch and I live in Scotland. And today I'm going to do a whip parade because it's the end of the year. Well, nearly the very end of the year. So I thought I should really go on and do a whip parade before it's too late and then we end up in January and I think, oh my goodness, where's the time gone? I haven't done that whip parade. So I'm doing it now today. So I hope everybody is well. I'm not very good at doing intros really. I thought about this for a while and then I was thinking, I don't really have anything to say, to be honest. I know that there's lots of new people that come into a video like a whip parade. So I don't really know what to say that would sum me up as a stitcher for the past 5 or 6 years. I suppose I could start with that. I've been stitching for about 5 or 6 years, at least what I would call serious stitching. So I have really gotten into doing the full coverage, as many people have, and then I got into doing the floss tube. And it all just really blossomed from there. So I've always really been into, doing mostly full coverage designs. I used to do the little small things, but now I just don't seem to have an interest in them. And I don't really know why. I guess it's just I found my tastes and my tastes are doing full coverage. So today I've got a number of things to show you. I never really get above the 30 whip count because for my my tolerance level, for my comfort, I like to keep it under 30. However, today I have dragged everything out of the bush, everything out of every cupboard that I can find. And I'm going to be showing you a lot of the ones that I've got put away that I haven't touched for a long time, the projects that I have been touching and the ones that I've been working on almost regularly. So I'll try and explain all that as I go along. If you're new, I also have a needle minder shop in Etsy. So at the moment, over the Christmas period, there is 25% off for 3 needle minders or more. So go and check it out. There's lots of Christmassy ones up there at the moment as well. So let's start with the most recent ones. I've got a list here that I'm going to go through. No particular order. The full coverage heids and all that sort of thing are going to be at the beginning of the section, and then there's going to be more of the stamped kit and stuff like that, and at the very end I will show you some of the kits that I have that I may do at some point in the future or that I may never do. We'll see. But yeah, I don't really want to rush through it, but I don't want it to take like 2 hours, so let's just go at a nice easy pace. I may have to do some wrangling of my whips onto a board, so I may cut out those, wrangly moments. I don't think it'll make much difference for you, but it'll just save you time sitting there waiting for me to get the thing, wrapped up nicely on my piece of cardboard. So I'll spare you that horror. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is called Sad Fairy. Now this one is one of my very, very first full coverage Heaven and Earth design, and I am currently at 65%. The artist is Elena Lazareva, and as I said, it's a Heaven and Earth design. And I was talking about this one. I did a stitch with me on this recently, and I was talking about this one. I'm going to pop pictures up of these on the screen here. That's why I've left a nice little space. I have been working on this one recently and I wanted to get it to 70%, or I was hoping I might. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. But here we are. This is where I am at the moment. And my most recent work is all down here. So this is what I've been working on in the past month. And she's at, 65%. I don't think I'm going to be telling you every single whip, whether I'm doing, they're nearly all 25 count. And I do a mixture of 1/1 and tent on the same piece. Sometimes I do tent on the background and I do 1/1 on, say, like the flowers. It just depends on the mood I'm in. Because basically you can't tell the difference because 25 count is so small. Nobody's ever going to be able to tell unless you go really, really close. And these are not made for going really, really close. So at least you shouldn't anyway, it's rude. So I'm really happy with her. And I know I'm going to be working on her next year. I don't know if I'm going to include plans on this video because I haven't actually thought about it yet. So let's just get through the whip parade, shall we? Okay, the next one I will show you. I think I'm going to just hold it up because it's too big even for that board. The next one is called Riverwalk Charm. It's by Ruane Manning. It's a Heaven and Earth design, and I'm at 57%, which I think is quite good. It's a beautiful riverwalk scene. I've seen other people doing this one. I've been working on it for at least 4 years. And it's a Heaven and Earth design. And here is where I'm at. So hopefully I've got that in the entire screen. And lately I've been I started working down here where the flowers are and a little bit on the buildings on that side. So I do tend to flit between one side of the chart and the other. And I did add some extra fabric to the ends so that I could fit it neatly into a Q-snap, where you need a bit of extra space on either side. Don't think I'm going to be able to get this too easily up. I don't know which side I prefer the most. I like buildings because I'm a building kind of person. But I also kind of like the colours on this side. The red front of the store or cafe. Yeah. I love the dappled sunny look on this one. A lot of people have expressed an interest in starting this one. But I looked at the mini recently and I thought, you know what, the mini doesn't actually look too bad, to be honest. If I was to start this one again, I probably would go for the mini, to be honest, after seeing how long it takes to get them done. What do they say? Once bitten, twice shy. Or if I was going to start the big one again, I'd just have to call myself insane. Okay, I'm just going to wrangle my next one onto a piece of card. This is called Vatican Sunset. It's by Thomas Kincaid and it's also a Heaven and Earth design. I started this one very recently. I think it was about August of this year. So it's only been going for about 3 months. And I'm really happy to say that I've hit 10% on this chart. So there is a small milestone that I have achieved. And here is where I have got to. I love the colours on this. They just look so bright and lovely. I think the midway point is about there, where that top of the church is, Vatican Church. Very much enjoying working this. And I've decided to continue this one in 10 stitch, so it's going really, really fast. I have to say that when I was doing 1/1 full cross, also it does sort of depend on how much confetti there is. When I was doing 1/1 full cross, it was taking me about 4 hours to do 200 stitches. When I switched to 10 stitch with 2 strands, I got about 900 stitches in the same time period. So more than double, basically. But yeah, I know not everybody likes 10 stitch and not everybody likes full cross. This is one that I will definitely continue working because I love it. I am drawn to nice skylines and buildings. Okay, what do we have next? We have Castle by Eda Jose Rosa. This is a Stitchy So Beautiful website, the design, and this is at 2.5%. And here's where I'm at. And I think again, that is about the midway point, somewhere around there. That's looking really good, I think. I'm really excited to get more along this way. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue going down or if I'm going to continue going that way. I haven't decided yet really. And that one I think I'm definitely going to be working on in 2026. My next one I'm not going to bother putting onto the cardboard. This is Perfect Wisdom by Lisa Parker. It's a Haid and I'm at 40%. Again, a mixture of tent and full crosses. So I'm working diagonals on this one. And I think he's looking gorgeous. I really like him. So that's another one that's potentially going on to my 2026 list. There is going to be a couple of UFOs, I'm afraid, but that's par for the course. We can't do everything all of the time. I'll talk about those in a bit. Now we're on to Fairy Whispers, another Haid. So far they've all been Haids except for the castle, which is by Stitchy So Beautiful. Fairy Whispers, this has been a restart so many times and I finally got into the groove with it on 25 count and I'm now working two strands 10 stitch and it is at 30%, no 3%. Little itsy bit on the left. So working in columns at the moment. Love the colours in that. Really, really pretty colours. Again, I had to add fabric to the ends so that I could get it into a Q-snap. I don't always use Q-snap, sometimes I use, mostly at the moment I'm using the hoops because they're less sort of bulky than a Q-snap. If I want to work, you know, on my, rather than use a Lowry stand, I sometimes just balance a hoop and I stitch like that. The next one I have to show you is called Moon Witch and it's an artisy design. I'm at 3%. This was a Halloween start with a few other people. So it's only probably going to be worked on at Halloween. I'll bring it out again next year. Whoops. And I'm actually using 20 count on this one. So there you can see I've started on this end and I've got some of the moon in there going down. There was the start of the witch's hat in the center. And that was about all I had time for this Halloween, so looking forward to getting through, getting itchy as usual, my nose. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot more scratchy than the 25 count even weave. Sometimes I'm tempted to just wash it, but then I lose the grid, so yeah, it's not great. Okay, the next one is actually a kit. I think I'm done now with my full coverage big ones. Shall I do this next? Yeah, so sorry for the noise. So this one is a kit by, it's an anchor kit and it's called Westminster London and it's a paper chart, so I don't have any, what do you call it, stats. Let me just wrangle it in here. And here is where I got to. Sorry for the hoop marks and everything. So I'm working on the top half of this chart and I love, love, love those colours. Those golden yellows and pinks and browns. I just love that. But I find it a difficult one to work because of the fact that it's on paper. But it's looking good and I'm looking forward to getting back to that one some point soon. Okay, the next one I have to show you is called Winter Evening and this is a chart by, I think it's Marejka, if I'm not mistaken. And it's on 16 count Ada. I made a little start, didn't do that brilliantly if I'm honest, but there we go. Had a bit of a problem with my borders around here, so I will have to sort that one out when I get back to it. But nice little start there. And I've got a thing for blues as well, I think. I seem to gravitate towards all the blues, which I love. That one again is a paper chart. Comes with a little picture. Which way am I holding it? And they've got a lovely one at the back as well, which is really nice. Under the oaks. But do I need any more? I don't think so. I'm not really a collector either. I don't really think about collecting things like charts. Not much of a collector of anything really. Okay, so the next one I have to show you is called, if I can find it, it might have a name. Okay. Whoops. I've lost it. Oh, it's here. It's called Alice in Wonderland Sampler, and I got it from Etsy, and there's not much of a change in it from what I showed you last time. I think I'm doing it on 16 count Aida. That's as far as I've got with the border, very close to the end here. Haven't really had it called to me much lately, but I have brought it out a couple of times, so that's something. In fact, I've touched nearly all of these whips this year, except for, no, actually I've touched all of them this year, at least once, probably more than once. The next one I'm going to show you now is, I'm going to show you a couple of stamped kits, because I'm not really a stamped chart kind of person, but I do like to have a couple. I do always have like a couple of them. I've had a couple of them for a while now, but this one I got about 2 years ago, I think. It's called Deep Autumn. Don't think I want to take it out of the box. Sorry, out of the hoop. That's how it looks. It's by Maydear. I think I've seen. See, I know not everybody's really into the stamped stuff, so I don't tend to show. And even then, I think, well, what's the point of showing? Because I barely ever even work on them. So yeah, I have it in a little hoop, and I've only just got the top. Oh no, I think I've done a lot more on this side. Yeah, did a lot more on this side. The colours in this are pretty nice. But they just seem to take ages. I find that they're supposed to be quick because you don't have to refer to a chart really. But they're usually so confetti crazy that I find them quite fiddly. And I feel like they do take ages to get going, to change threads, to look for the colour. I'm going to show you another chart, which is a stamped kit, and it's huge, and I decided to get this one, when was it? A couple of months ago, I think. And I've seen this one around, and I know that the Keystone Stitcher is doing it or has completed it. I'm not sure if she's completed it. And she got it from, I think it was Soda Stitch. Now I don't know who the designer is. I've had a look everywhere to see if there is a designer. I've seen a version of it on Etsy, but I don't trust Etsy for everything when it comes to cross-stitch patterns. Because you rarely ever get a cross-stitch pattern on Etsy where you can actually see a good mock-up or a good representation of what it could look like. So I wouldn't put time and effort in something that's going to take me years to do, only to find that I don't like the end result. So I have to have some form of, if I'm going to buy them from just random sellers on Etsy, I just need to know that they're going to turn out great. But this one, I liked it, and it was on the Painting Fairy cross-stitch website. And as I said, I don't find it, there's nothing out there to show what the designer is. But if there is a designer of this, that can prove that they've designed it. I'm sure they would have come forward by now. And if they do, I'm quite happy to submit the cost of the design. But you might recognise it from seeing the Keystone Stitcher if you follow her. I'm going to have to fold it in half now because it's that big. I don't see myself ever finishing this, to be honest. Don't see myself even getting halfway, but I don't know. Sometimes I pick it out and I do about 5-10 stitches and I feel so daunted by the size that I just put it away again. Think, oh my God, let's leave it for another day. But I have made a good start on it. This is not going to work, folks. You're all sitting there twitching away like, would you just hold the damn thing up already? Okay, so there it is. 4 seasons. And I have done the top of that. Isn't that cool? It's on the Painting Fairy website. Here is the length of it. It's not the biggest one I've ever seen, but it's big. And yes, I do like Painting Fairy's version of printing. It seems to be a good quality. I think they get them printed in Germany. Not 100% sure. But yeah. Let's see if I can show this a bit closer. This is the problem with huge things like this. There we are. And there is backstitch on this, by the way. But the instructions seem very, very clear. Although it is a bit confetti mad, so that might put you off. But yeah, this is one to do when, I don't know, it's when you fancy doing a stamped one, I guess. I've got quite a bit done on there, but I haven't done it much in the last while. Okay, I'm just going to dump it for the moment. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is called Gracious Era. I think I've shown this a few times. Worked on it recently by Alan Maley. It's a Dimensions kit. And here is my progress. I've been working on the carriage and about to start the horse, I think. Same to you, motorbike. How dare the motorbike interrupt my video? It's very windy outside today. It doesn't look like a day for going out, to be honest. Yeah, so I'll probably work on that one again. I'll probably work on all of these next year, except for maybe 1 or 2. Another one I want to show you is called Lady Sewing in an Interior. Now, this was a free Heaven and Earth design chart that was given out with the 2024 Haid Sal. She gave it out as a freebie. Some people started it. I don't think many people did. And there was a little bit of an issue with, is it too dark or is it not too dark? And some people said, I find it too dark. And other people said, I think it'll be okay. I'm kind of on the fence both ways, so I haven't worked on it. I started working on it. I put it away. I did a good bit on it actually, and then I put it away. And then I thought, I'm going to see what it looks like via other people's progress. And then if it doesn't look terrible, dark, I mean, then I may continue it myself. But I think it probably looks okay once you get the whole thing done, because it is supposed to be in shadow. So there's a lady sitting there, as you can see in the picture. She's sewing by a little lamp beside her. So to get that contrast, you're going to have the darker area and the lighter area, because if the whole thing was light, it wouldn't have the right effect. I get that. But yeah, so anyway, I'll show you what I got done. So I started across the top and then I went down because I wanted to try and get to the part of her head to see how dark that was. And here is where I got to. So you can see the top of her head just coming in there. Top of her head is just coming there, and the corner of the lamp just down there. And I think it's okay. Once you go look at it from a distance, it'll start to get lighter as you go down. Now I did crop a bit off the top because I just thought, it's so dark, who cares about seeing so much of that brown. So I cropped a few rows. So this is not from the very top of the chart. But yeah, I got to the top of her head and I got to there, and then I just put it away. And for me, it's more of a, I mean, if I'm going to do this one, I would like to make it a focus piece and actually stitch on it regularly, which I can't do at the moment because I've got other focus pieces on the go. So this one's just going to have to sit in the queue and wait. And it does seem like more of a winter stitch to me as well. It feels more like a winter stitch than a summer stitch. But this is on 25 count and I'm doing, I think it's 10 stitches. And I love the picture, I really do. I hope it works out, and I might finish the rest of her face and everything and then go from there. But yeah, it's just one of those where you're not really sure which way to feel about it. Like, do I carry on or do I not carry on? I think there's a lot of, you can get whips like that which you never really know. What's in that bag? Right, let me just check this one. I don't know what's in here, it's a surprise. Oh, it's one I've already shown you. Okay, the next one I want to show you is called Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. Again, another popular kind of sampler. I chose a greeny blue fabric for this. And that's my progress on it. So I'm using Anchor White, and I think it's 3808 is the colour, because I like the contrast. Let me just check that. Yes, 3808 and Anchor White. I haven't done a lot of this year, sadly. But it's not a UFO, and I don't think it'll ever be a UFO because I like it. So I will continue with that one at some point. I'll get there eventually, ladies. I mean, most of my whips now, at least the older ones, are at 50, way over the 50% mark. Even the most recent one of the owl is already at 40%, but then it is a story keep. Another one which is by another building one. This is by Thea Governor. It's called London. I found this paper chart very difficult to decipher, so it doesn't come out very often. But when I do work on it, I really like it. Which way am I going? This way. I really can't see. I hope that's more or less centered. So I'm working sort of on the top pages, and then I've still got pages at the bottom to do. Working on that dome down at the bottom there. Very, very, what do you call it? Soft fabric, but I think it's not a hard danger. I don't really know for sure what it is, to be honest. Is it Ada? Feels too soft to be like an even weave. But it's not a linen. I don't know. It'll say it on the description if I go back and look. Yeah, so that's London. The paper chart is incredibly awkward, and I've still got the page that comes with the kit. I'd love to do that little red telephone box there at the bottom. Coming to the end of these now. It's not actually that many, is there? It feels to me like there's loads and loads and loads. But this is a little one I picked up. It's called Sunflowers by Boffy Threads. just a little kit. Not much of a start. I've done the centre part. I thought I'd make it into a little cushion, little teeny weeny cushion, but we'll see. This one's been out about 3 times, I think. I've written down June 2025, so that must have been when I started it, June 2025. Okay, so that is all of my whips. Oh wait, there's one more. There's one more. This is called the Snow Queen by Mirabilia. This is a sort of an oldish one. I have got videos up, or I had videos up, of me working this one. My hair's really sort of static today, sticking to my face. And I wanted to get back to this one a couple of times. I can't find my beads. I know where they are. I know they're somewhere, but I can't find them. So, but it hasn't called to me this year. But here is where I've got to. Not too shabby. Still have to do the reindeer. I think she looks lovely. I'm going to have to get back to her at some point. Pretty sure I will. When I find those darn beads, because I am not buying them all over again. And I know they're not gone. They're just misplaced. Happy Village is lost. Lost in the ether. I don't know where it is. If it turns up again, I will continue stitching with it. If it doesn't turn up again, I'm not going to stitch it. It could be another future restart. I don't know. But right now I've got enough to be getting on with, I think. There's 3 other charts which I was working on that I don't want to continue working on in 2026 for various reasons. Some simple, some not so simple. And the 3 charts I'm going to put up here is Van Gogh Cat by Stitchy So Beautiful. I started this one around the summertime. Every time I pick it up, I just can't seem to get into it. Not enjoying it at all for some reason. I really like the picture, but it's a large one I got as well, so it felt really daunting to me. So I just think, you know, after about 4 attempts of trying to work on it, I'm just gonna have to let it go for now. Maybe in the future I'll gravitate towards it again. I don't know. You know, never be definite about anything, because you don't know how you're going to feel in 2, 5, 10 years time. The other one is Cottage Walkway by Artsy. Really love this design, but the confetti was killing me. It was just killing me. So again, I was hesitant to pick it up because of the fact that I just wasn't enjoying it. It was like, it's just too much for me, too much. And I'm the kind of person that I like my charts to have some confetti and a little bit of block stitching here and there, but this one just seemed a bit nuts, and I just wasn't happy. So again, that one's gone away. I don't know if in the future I'll be in the mood for it or not, but for going forward, I don't think I'm going to be working on that. And the other one is Port Peach Butterfly Ornament. Again, I've totally lost interest and don't get any joy or pleasure from stitching it. So I think to myself, you know, life is too short. Don't waste your time stitching things you don't really care about. Well, I really don't make these decisions that lightly, but I find that if I'm really far ahead in something, like if I'm up to like nearly 50%, I'm less likely to let go of it. But more importantly than that, I have to be happy with what I'm doing. Because I know myself by now, if I start stitching for the heck, you know, just for the sake of it, just because I feel I should be, I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person. I'm not a happy stitcher. So just about everything I've shown you now is fine with me. I know I haven't got round to doing some things, but that's just the way it goes. But there are some charts that are just not appealing to me any longer, and they're not that far ahead. So I don't think I've lost anything. I've probably just gained more time for the rest of them. I think that's everything. Looking at my list here, I've showed you is all of my current whips. I am going to choose, I have chosen a chart for my Hate Sal. It's called Battle. I'll put a picture of it here. This is the one I'll be starting in January. I'm all kitted up with this. I have all my threads ready to go. I just did a video, if you want to check it out, on choosing a fabric for that. I'm leaning towards, now having thought about it, I'm leaning towards doing 2/110 stitch, either on the fabric that I showed you in the last video or on the 25 count even weave. That's basically what I'm going to go with, I think, because I do tend to find the 10 stitch, and I like 10 stitch, I don't have a problem with it. I do find it does go a little bit quicker anyway, so given that I want to make good progress next year as well, I think 10 stitch is the way to go for me. And some of these that I'm doing are reconverted. I convert backwards and forwards, reconverted back to 10 stitch. So I think that's it. I don't think I've left anything out. I will show you some kits that I have which are not open, just kits that have been gifted to me or stuff I've got in the cupboard. So this one was gifted to me. This is called Letty Stitch. A friend gave me this one as a gift. Look how beautiful that is. I love it, but it looks a bit daunting. So I won't be starting this one anytime soon, but yeah, it's lovely. I have opened the box and peeked inside, but then I just put it all back again because I'm not ready for this. I'm just not ready for it, but it is gorgeous. I really like it. And other ones I have, I've got a couple here that I went with a friend to it was like a place where they have like cats in the shelter, and you can go and pet the cats and see the cats. And then they had some like little market stalls as you were going around. So in those market stalls, there was a basket full of cross stitch patterns, and I thought, oh, whoa, let's go and look at those. Not that I need them, but no harm looking. So I got a few from there. They were like really, really cheap. Because this one was like 50p, it was like $1 or something. It's just a cardboard design, and you get the pattern inside the actual thing. To Everything There Is a Season, that's what that one's called. I thought that was really nice. These two are really cute. This is called Preparing for Christmas. I don't know who. These look like old. Raindrop is the name of this. How cute is that? I don't know how easy or hard it is to actually stitch from a... Look, this one folds out. So the whole pattern is on the inside here. Yes, looks daunting enough, but that's gorgeous, isn't it? I'd want to get that into Pattern Keeper or something though. That's the problem. Here's another one that is also, it's called Ice Boating by Raindrop. I don't know that brand, it must be oldish. How easy is that one to see? That one looks a bit easier to see. But again, they have the back stitch, I'll show you briefly. They have the back stitch on top of all the other stitches, which is not ideal because it covers the symbol. I've got this kit, which I think I got from the same place. This is called Sing a Song of Christmas. This one's quite lovely. Marty Bell's Sing a Song of Christmas. That's one I can see myself doing if the chart is fairly readable. Then we've got Victorian's House Number 9. This one's really cool. I like that. That's cute. I think I might try that one some point on Halloween. Maybe after Moon Witch, that's the next one. But I mean, it cost peanuts because we got it from the market stall. Then I've got Luca S. 2 foxes, really cute. I also have one with a cat, but I don't know where that is. I can't find it. And this is Design Works. It's called Twilight Romance. Very romantic. Look at that sky and that boat. I like that. That's me and my husband just before I fall into the water. I think cross-stitching me falling into the water is going to be a lot more interesting, to be honest. You know me, that's what would happen. And here I've got Christmas Skaters, the John Clayton collection. I've had this a few years now and I still haven't got round to it, but I love the colours. Look at that. Isn't that fun and joyous? Although those greys, and they're not white, but the greys on the ground are really kind of scaring me. Yeah, not sure about that. Okay, folks, so that is all of my current whips. You might remember something that I was stitching on way back. If you do, it's gone. I'm probably never going to stitch on it again, or I UFO'd it or something. But the majority of the stuff is here that I'm currently working on, that I'm enjoying, and that's the most important thing. I'm enjoying everything that I'm working on at the moment. That is the most important thing for me. It keeps me sane, keeps me out of trouble, and if I feel like starting something else, I try to not do that because I do want to see progress. So my only new start for 2026 at the moment is the Hate Sale, and I'm looking forward to starting that one soon with a few other people as well. And I'm also looking forward, if you're a floss tuber, I'm looking forward to seeing your whip parades. So come on, get your charts out and all your fabrics and let's see how you've done this year, because I really love watching them too. I think that's it for me. Oh, I'm losing my voice now. I think that's it for me. I think I've said everything today that needs to be said. I'm going to try and do a stitch with me. Let's see if I can, because I've got some plans, some external appointments and things coming up. So I want to get everything wrapped up and done, all my presents bought for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. I want to get everything done before Christmas hits, because it's just around the corner. So if I can squeeze in a stitch with me, I will. And apart from that, all I can say is if I don't hear from you, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And thank you for stopping by and watching my whip parade. It's been a great joy. So take care, folks, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.